Hello my dear friends, today we are going to dive into another market review, and as always we are starting with Bitcoin. What did we discuss regarding Bitcoin last time? If you remember, we were discussing this situation when Bitcoin on the daily time frame lost its Kijun support, a very important support here, and we lost it, and the price came for the retest of this Kijun resistance already, and alongside with the 50 moving average resistance. And I suggested that probably we are going to reject here, which is actually what happened, and we expected the price to go at least to $58, $57, $59,000. And as you can see, it played out very well for us. Why did we expect the price to come in that zone? Basically, we were looking at our weekly super trend support here, and we needed to retest it. And as you can see, this is exactly what happened. And I didn't make any updates via the video here, but I was live on my Twitter account, and those who follow know that I was talking about that here during when the price was at $57,000. I said that I think the bounce is imminent from this zone, but whether this bounce is going to last or not remains to be seen. And this is the key area that needs to get held in order for us to know that the macro trend of Bitcoin remains bullish. And we did not want to see the shift here. And if the price of Bitcoin would break this super trend line, then we would expect some vulnerabilities from the market, like we had here during the 2021 here when the super trend was broken here. But for now, the situation remains to be optimistic because we held this super trend support line and didn't break it, and the recovery was very strong. But I don't see that to be a very bullish instant sign, in my opinion, even though we had this significant and convincing buying candle here, green candle. It is not a red candle, but still this is the candle that can be recovered because it is very a little bit vulnerable here, so the price can still get back for the retest here and chop in this area for some time, in my opinion. And let's get back on the lower time frame and what happened here. After the price bounced here convincingly here, it was strong bounce here, but when the price approached this green range line, and I posted on my Twitter account that I expect something like this kind of scenario. I did not expect the price to break here this $67,000-$68,000 immediately, because we have a quadruple resistance here: Kijun, super trend, 50 moving average, and ATR resistance are here. So that is why I said that probably we are going to reverse either from this green zone, green range line, or we are going to do something like this and get back into 62, 61, 60 plus $1,000 at least, because we do not break this kind of significant and multiple resistances on the first try. And the fact that we didn't even reach this resistances area is a good sign for me, because that these resistances work. Why? Because this green line, if we flipped this green line and found acceptance above it, then definitely the market needed to be like a magnet, needed to break this resistance immediately and then go for the retest and go further. But as you can see, I said that this multiple resistances zone is strong, That is why we were not even allowed to approach this zone, and we made some fake out from this green line, but then dived back under. And also, so what I am expecting now on the lower time frames, yes, let's take a look at my charts, what I drew here. So basically this is the 4-hour time frame, our trading, what our situation that we have here, and we have this 59 zone. We have this range, trading range on a 4-hour time frame with the highs and with the lows here. And we had this more frequent lows, yeah, that we tapped many times and bounced, but when we lost them, usually we covered this inefficiency week, and we squeezed that liquidity there and then recovered here. So basically this recovery means that probably it is a strong recovery that suggests that this further scenario is going to be like this. If we reclaim it, it can be considered as deviation, potentially, only potentially. So if we reclaim this red zone level that we tapped many times as support and we lost it and reclaimed fast, so basically right now we can expect the price to come back for the retest of 62 plus 62,000, maybe even dive into this 61,500 zone, and then we need to see some kind of bounce. Yes, we have kind of I am confused about this. I think it is an inefficiency zone and we can even dive, but if we dive under 59, there is a huge possibility of us getting squeezed even lower to 56, 55, $54,000. So basically it is a good opportunity. It would be best that we hold 61,500 here, $62,000, but it remains to be seen in my opinion. And I think we can even draw this trend line, local trend line here, and focus on that. As you can see, when we touch it, something like that, the closing of the daily candle is soon in my opinion. So if we don't do something like this, and we can start with the next day with some kind of recovery towards the $64,000 and then squeeze back lower to 62, 61,700, 61,400, something like that. And if we get back, it is the place where you want to bid, to long or to buy some altcoins or whatever you are buying, and then wait for the recovery. And then after that we will need to see whether this we will see some kind of bounce, at least local, and we need to focus on whether this bounce is going to be a strong one or a weak one. If it's weak, the velocity is slow and low, then definitely there are some concerns and the price can lose this zone, and we need to if it bounced from our entry, definitely put stop losses. We are at that phase, and I mentioned it on my Twitter account already, that we are at that phase of the market when free money are over, in my opinion, because each year, it doesn't matter even what trend we are in, each year when each year starts with the bull run and the free money. The first 4 months of the year are always a free money printer, when you can buy spot and make 3x's, 5x's, 10x's, depends on the trend of the market. But after that it gets more complicated. Even we are not talking about the worst scenarios, when it is a full bear market and bad spilling candles. We are talking about the not an easy market, because I think making for a fortune from the spot bias is over for now, and we need to focus more on trading, or maybe accumulating some positions that you missed during the previous half of the year, and you are presented now with this flush with some good opportunities to buy those assets that you missed and accumulate in a DCA manner, So basically, I'm focusing on this one, but we need to be very vigilant, in my opinion, regarding all of these scenarios. Why? Because let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart on CME Bitcoin chart, and it is different. Why? Because unlike the ordinary success Bitcoin charts, it doesn't work during the weekend, and it has different situations here. And as you can see here, it already broke the super trend support here. Unlike the other success charts, it has broken this super trend support. So basically, what does it say to us? It doesn't look good, in my opinion, but of course it doesn't say too much at this moment for us. But there is another thing that says. It is that Bitcoin here also lost the Kijun support here in this line also, and lost it, but we see some kind of recovery. We didn't recover the all-time high line from the 2021, but as you can see, regardless of that, the price is back above the Kijun here. But if the price dives back under Kijun here, then definitely it is going to be a warning for us that the price of Bitcoin can go back to 58, 57, 59 at least, and the rest remains to be seen. But if the price here recovers, doesn't lose the Kijun again, and breaks above the blue line here at $66,000, then definitely we are flipping the bullish situation into a bullish market here. And the situation here also good one, an optimistic one. But if we lose the Kijun here again, definitely not good. And if we close up under it, then definitely it is not good. And this situation with the broken super trend support here makes me think that there is a high probability that if we even go higher and we reach some kind of $72,000, $73,000, $75,000, if we do not break this super trend resistance, then it would mean definitely that we will be back and the market can go to shit actually. So we need to be very careful. Another thing that we need to look at is, in my opinion, is the S&P 500 market. And what do we have here? The situation has changed significantly. Okay, we can see that now. As you can see, okay, the situation is not that bad in my opinion right now, because a few days ago and even yesterday the situation was very vulnerable here, because the price also lost Kijun and promised to do something like Bitcoin did recently. Basically, it was supposed to retest it, and if it would reject here, then definitely the price would go lower or up to the trend line, green trend line. So, but now we can see the situation that today the price broke above the Kijun. This is what we were talking about the CME chart today. So basically there is a high probability that the price will continue to rise here if we secure the Kijun and do not fall under Kijun again. So basically keep that in mind. Use Kijun Send Shift for your disposal. It can be very useful. And as you can see, we reclaim this line and Kijun again. So basically if it doesn't dive back under, then the situation is good and we can expect on a pump maybe tomorrow, maybe in the next 2 days, unless we lose it. So need to follow it. For now, kind of looks good. And invalidating this drawdown scenarios. So basically be very vigilant, but Bitcoin, in my opinion, in general, doesn't look that bullish at this moment right now for me. I don't know whether the market and any manipulation can change this, but definitely this is a reversal situation for me, and I expect tomorrow to start something like this with the retest towards the 63,900, something there, and get back to 62, 61, 700, 800, 500, somewhere there. And then if we find some support somewhere here in that zone that we discussed, yeah, then definitely we can do something like that and maybe get back like this. Or if we reclaim it, then definitely we are going higher. This is what I am expecting here, and this is what we discussed here. Probably maybe deep, and we are looking what is going to happen. Open a position here and then wait for a bounce, place a stop loss at the entry, and look what is going to happen next. Or basically these are the mechanics we need to take a look at. Okay guys, let's take a look at some altcoins, and I will show you some altcoins that make me suspicious and make me want to be very careful with the market. And some of these altcoins is, for example, XRP. Let's take a look at XRP. I know that it is not interesting to many of you, but sometimes it can be very insightful to the market. As you can see, let's look at the whole chart. As you can see, we have our global trend line, and since I was expecting the price wants to come for the retest of this trend lines, because it would tell me that it is 100% a buy signal if we tap this 30 cents area, and it would say to me that the bottom is in. But we never, since we marked it here in 2020 and again, we never marked it again and never touched it again. So basically, but let's take a look at the monthly. And usually when we see the monthly like this, after this kind of monthly with the red candle, we have this resistance here. And let's turn on the 50 moving average, and as you can see, after this kind of candle, we usually are limited with the upside movement. Yeah, we are usually very limited with the upside movement the next month. The monthly was closed like this. Yes, we can do something like that, like we did before. As you can see, we the next monthly, after this kind of candle, if we either retest the 50 moving average resistance here and get squeezed back down to play out this candle. This is how this candle plays out. And if we do not do that, then definitely we are limited with this 58 cents resistance, and during this month we need to chop in this area and close it something like this pin bar here, after this similar candle that we had. We close something like this around 47, 48, 50 cents, and then the next one is a bullish one when we can do something like the this and break this counter trend line, global counter trend line, and do something like that, and maybe something go lower into this support. But if we do not hold this green line at 48 cents here, then definitely the price will come back to 36s, 37, 36s, and that would be already a good spot to buy. But I'm not talking about XRP to discuss the XRP right now. I'm discussing it because it is one of the insightful assets with an insightful TA and candle formation analysis that can show us that there are some difficulties for the price exploration for the altcoins this month, and the price exploration is limited, and we can expect on a very choppy month, in my opinion, and at least this month in May. So let's take a look at another more convincing asset to me is Lux. Let me find it. Let's take a look at Lux, and why is it so on the weekly it still seems like a good choice, in a good position here, because as you can see, it reaches Kijun support here, so basically we need to retest it and bounce it here. And this is what can happen. Actually, usually it happens like this. But when I look at the monthly, let's take a look at the monthly. Let's remove all the indicators. Damn, this is a very, very aggressive monthly candle. Very aggressive. And there is nothing you can do here. And these kind of candles, they are playing out with the dump. We need another kind of similar candle here to be drawn here. At least we need to retest this 4.5 cents here, so that candle would be considered to that it played out, and it wouldn't be that dangerous for these asset holders. So basically, I think this month, if nothing changes, this asset can be in danger, in my opinion. So of course, if it holds right here, and let's take a look at the turn out our 50 moving average here again. We don't have it. Yeah, right now it is a good buy. It looks like a good buy here when we retest this 50 moving average, and one would like actually to buy it. But definitely when I see this monthly candle, it freaks me out actually. And I don't know, even if it bounces this month, it will be limited with the price somewhere here with 11 cents, in my opinion. Because 11, yeah, we actually can expect something like that. If within the month we are going to do something like this, then squeeze back and until the end of the month back into this zone and close with this kind of pin bar, then definitely we will start a recovery during the next month. But I think it will be limited with this area, and still the price will go back down towards this major support. Because why? Because this kind of significant aggressive reversal candles with this week without they always mean that the price is going to play out with the lower positions. So be very careful, both with Lux asset, with this asset, and with the altcoins and with the market in general, because the situation is not very promising, is not very bullish. When you see these kind of candles, then definitely either stay away or buy in the top support zones and place stop losses. Do not gamble right now. It is not the time and place to gamble, in my opinion, regardless of what is going to happen with the market next. Let's take a look at Mantle, the same situation, but also we need some kind of a weak here, but which that makes it not that very aggressive. But when we look at this monthly, we can see inefficiency week, the red inefficiency week that needs to be covered sooner or later, maybe even this kind of week, but I'm not talking about it right now. And as you can see, it gets rejected right now from the Kijun resistance here and the 50 moving average, so the price still can chop like this, in my opinion, at least to meet that 200 moving average support around 85 $84. Why? Because we have this monthly candle and it is not a bullish candle. And how these kind of candles are playing out, we are retesting like during the next month, like we are doing right now, yeah, and we find resistance somewhere here and get back, and we either squeeze back down and play out this kind of candle in full and form a bottom and reverse here. Or if we do not do that, it will come to us later. So basically, if within this month we do something like this, the same as with Lux and XRP, we come and we hold this area. If we hold this area this month, then the next month we have some bounce again into this kind of zone, but then it will get back and will recover, and it will reach its target here that needs to be reached after this kind of bearish candle that we have. It will happen whether you like it or not. I do not believe that we are going to go something like that after this kind of candle without playing out at least partially this candle and touching this 80s zone, 80 cents zone. So be very careful with these assets. These are my thoughts. Maybe I'm wrong, but we need to pay attention to these indicators because they are working fine. Let's take a look at optimism. And this is what I discussed on my Twitter account here. Let's remove these drawings and take a look at this asset, what is happening here. Okay, optimism has had great recovery since its dump, yeah, but I think we can credit it to the whole optimism ecosystem activity and spike during these months. And definitely it is rising because the assets in the optimism ecosystem are on fire right now. But I think we reach this resistance here and we can turn on the super, and look where I said it in my recent tweet that the price needs to get rejected here, and this is the 50 and 200 moving average resistance here, and that is why we are getting this rejection. And we have Kijun resistance here, but we will talk about it right away. Let's look at the super trend here, and as you can see, also the resistance here is here. That is why I said that there is a high probability that we will have the rejection here in this zone. Too many resistances here in this area. And what is happening right now is that the situation is risky, in my opinion. We are forming some kind of reversal here, and whether this reversal is going to last depends to be seen. But as I said before, when we dumped here, we have left inefficiencies for the future here. I think we have this global trend line, double global trend line, and the main one is the green one in my opinion. And I said that we will need to recover it again. In my opinion, we have this inefficiency week. Yes, we can leave it uncovered, yeah, for the future, because if we are in a strong bull run. But definitely this week is the thing that can say that the price may be back and chop if the market keeps being choppy for the months to come. Then this is what I initially said during a few weeks ago when we were here. This is what I expected here, some kind of choppy here, but we went higher, no biggie about it. Still range resistance is here. What will be in the invalidation of this kind of retest here, yeah, and choppy market for me on optimism, in my opinion? The invalidation would be if we flip Kijun here. So basically, if we hold 270s here and do something incredible like reclaiming this 293 zone, then upon this retest I would take a long and would expect the price to go at least to 320, 340. Or if we, like it looks like now, if we keep going lower, then if it goes lower, then this zone of course is going to be for the bounce and for the buys or longs, and pretty clear zone. But if we do not dump that low and do something like this, if we reclaim Kijun right here, then definitely when we flip it either here or upon the retest here of 262, I would take a long and we would see some bounce here, and then probably something like this. So these are my plans. Why is that? Because let's take it the monthly. Monthly doesn't look that bullish. We are also limited, as I said before. We are limited with this zone of 320 in my opinion for this month. We cannot draw this type of straight up. You need to know the market's candle formation and how the candles form. Of course, on these type of higher time frames, like monthly time frames, this type of mechanics may not work, but still, this is a clear reversal formation in my opinion. So this month is very vulnerable in my opinion, and we cannot cross above 323 in my opinion. And even if it can look like that on the monthly time frame, let's take a look at the 3 months time frame, and this one is clear to me that this type of situation is when we chop around here, and only after that we can go higher. So immediately during this 3-month period, I don't think optimism is going to rise above 340.24, 323. So basically, be prepared for the chop in my opinion. This is my recommendation, guys. Well, as I always say in situations like this, hope for the better, but prepare for the worst, and it will help you. If you buy in the clear support, major support zones, and wait for the bounce and place stop loss at your entry, then definitely you will be safe. And okay, let's discuss DOGE. Also saw something interesting out there. As you can see, it marked the support level here nicely and marked the resistance here. As you can see, DOGE marked the 50 moving average resistance and the Kijun resistance both together, and definitely it is not the place where you want to buy or bid. It can do something like that still, or something like this. If it does something like this, reclaims this blue area, reclaims this Kijun support, then definitely we can go higher. But for now, I stick more with this kind of scenario, that we do something like that, then try to recover, then we decide here what is going to happen next. We do like this or go lower, something like that. This is what I expect from the DOGE. And let's take a look at the higher time frame, like weekly. Yes, we marked our 50 and 200 moving average support nicely here, but I don't doesn't seem, yes, after this kind of green candle usually we expect another one, but I think there's a high chance that we have this lower time frame resistances out there, and this one will end with some kind of choppy market back to this green, this 250 moving average support here, where we actually bounce, and then we are starting to take off. It will take some time, in my opinion, so be prepared for this kind of price action. And let's look at the monthly. Damn, this monthly we almost engulfed all this bullish candle, and right now of course we are not, I think we are limited with the upside movement for this month. Of course, if we see another monthly closing with the same kind of green candle that covers all this engulfing, then definitely we will go higher the next month. But in my opinion, right now it doesn't seem to be likely. I think we are going to chop for a few months, for a month or two, to mark something like this at least. Then we will be able to send it higher into the 40, 38, 37, 40 cent zone. This is what I expect from DOGE. Okay guys, let's take a look let's look at the DXY, the dollar index, because it can be very insightful too. We looked at the S&P, the situation is not that clear out there, but I think I also have some drawings here. The dollar index situation looks very interesting to me and maybe very insightful. As you can see, the dollar was strong here, but it marked a local reversal, local high here, and reversal, as you see. But on the monthly, it is ready to reap higher, in my opinion. But is it going to happen straight away? Not sure. It can happen. As you can see right now, the dollar index is retesting our 50 and 200 moving average support, so we can see something like this, and consolidation and then recovery, because we have this the Kijun support also here, unless we are losing this Kijun support and go lower. 104. Let's take a look at the weekly, and the weekly looks clearer to me. So basically we marked this local reversal here, and we go for the retest of Kijun and 50 moving average here, and depending on the velocity of this asset, of this price action of this asset, we either will meet the support around 104, or will remain somewhere in the zone of 104.50. So I think the dollar index is going to recover and consolidate here and reverse somewhere here, and will go higher. So basically these are the reasons for concern for the crypto assets and S&P in general, you know. basically we have all the reasons to consider that 104 is going to hold and we will reverse here. So be careful with that information and keep it in mind. I guess it is worth it. Okay, let's take a look at ONDO. ONDO, this is the best asset in the RVA sector, real world assets. And then I already have from my tweets some drawings here. Let's remove them and let's discuss ONDO. So what do we have here? The situation is clear here. From the last time we retested this zone and ATR support here held. This is what I mentioned in my tweets. So after that we broke this green contra trend line and we are holding up nicely at this moment, but no excessive movements like they were before, if you remember. And I have reasons to think why that is happening. Yeah, basically I had this scenario when the price either does like this after we held this zone and reclaimed Kijun and broke here. Definitely we need to either see some kind of retest of the, I mentioned it, retest of the 79 or 77 zone. Let's remove the 50 moving average and we do something like that. We either retest it again 79 and buy back significantly, find support of Kijun here and go higher, or if we start chopping and feel weakness and we lose this Kijun, then definitely it will become our resistance. Retest here, sell here, and we are going back into the global trend line around 55 50s and then start chopping, then reaching Kijun resistance again, either reject here, go lower, or reclaim it and go higher. These are my expectations and what I'm going to do. As long as the price is above this Kijun resistance, Kijun support here, it is good and I'm holding and we are expecting higher. If we are losing Kijun then and closing below it, then definitely I'm dropping and rebuying around 55 cents when we at least recover this kind of week and touch and approach this global trend line. Definitely the one that will hold and we will see some kind of bounce. So also let's take a look at the higher time frames again. Weekly actually says to us that we can actually reap. If we hold 79, we will reap higher into $1. This is what it says to us, but the monthly is more, again, with the limits here. After this kind of candle, we usually, not always, but usually we need to go squeeze lower into this 55 57 zone to cover this week usually. And if the market facilitates, and the Bitcoin in general in particular, definitely it is possible. So be very careful with all the assets, even the strong ones like ONDO. I'm holding for now, but if we lose this Kijun support, then I'm going to drop it upon the resistance retest. This was about ONDO. Also wanted to discuss PRCL. Not everybody is since this asset and this this product was launched. This is the also belongs to the real world assets segment, and this is the real assets, real estate marketplace, and since it released its airdrop, not many people were discussing it and were hyping around it, and this doesn't seem very I don't know. I think people underestimate this asset, in my opinion. So, and it is worth our attention actually. Why? Because let's take a look at the PRCL. What do we have here? With the information, the tokenomics and ventures in it. Let's take a look at it. It has the tokenomics that I like actually, with the total supply 1 billion tokens and only 120 million tokens in the circulations in the circulation right now. So, and the market cap of $52 million at the moment, very impressive, and very has a great potential, this asset, to hold it in your portfolio for a long term, in my opinion. Let's take a look at the investors. Coinbase Ventures, Dragonfly Capital, damn guys, and Solana Ventures. Definitely these big brain holdings, also good investors this cycle. So definitely this one deserves to be noticed, in my opinion, and it doesn't get enough acknowledgement and attention from the RVA fans. I think we need to pay attention to this one, because with this type of tokenomics, we can send this asset to actually any price we want. But of course, we need to be realistic, and we have this situation that, in my opinion, is very close to what this formation, this price action and candles formation, is similar to me as the let's take a look at Maverick protocol. Maverick, the same. We had this week, we had this recovery. Where did we find this? Let's skip this week and find this. Put our, oh, this is the wrong one. Let's Fibonacci here at this high, and we found support between 618 and 786, somewhere 75, somewhere here. Or let's try from this week. Doesn't work that way. Okay, so basically it looks like that. And let's take a look at the monthly. The monthly doesn't say much, but the weekly time frame looks like this, and similar to the PRCL right now, in my opinion. And let's get back to it. And of course, it depends very much from on the Bitcoin and the market in general, but I think it marked this zone. But also we do not need to forget that Starknet has the same, but Starknet is weak right now. Kind of this one also can do that. But this blue zone works as support nicely, and as long as we hold it, I also added this trend line, the trend line that we have here. We'll mark it in red. How do we build this line? We have this first touch of this blue zone of 40 cents. First touch, then we have another one higher, a little bit higher, and this is how we build this trend line. And as you can see, each time we touch this line, the price reacted. We needed 1, 2, and after that worked as resistance, worked as support, worked as support again, and as long as it holds, we can expect some pumps here. And actually we see some buybacks, good buybacks here, strong buybacks. And as long as we hold this trend line and this blue zone of 40 cents in general, there are good and the market is bullish and is not bearish, then definitely we can expect on some Maverick protocol like price action in general. But if this doesn't happen, and if PRCL loses this local trend line and this blue zone of 40 cents support of last resort, we lost it once already. Yeah, we lost it, but we reclaimed it. And as long as it holds above this zone, it is bullish. But if we lose it, then definitely the price goes lower. And where do we need to buy this asset if the price goes lower? Definitely around, I guess, 32-31 cents in my opinion. Let's take a look at it. Yes, somewhere here, 31.74. This is if we lose it, if we do not go like this and we lose it, close below it, then definitely I will be buying here. But if we hold 41-42 cents is a good buy for PRCL. And if you are in it for a long run, then definitely you will be good both if you buy here and here. If you DCA in the long run, definitely the high is clear around 150, 180 can be a good ride for you in the future, guys. This is for those who are interested in this asset. I'm looking at it and probably will be buying somewhere either in this zone or lower that I mentioned before. Let's take a look at TON. TON is on everybody's radar right now because the ecosystem is rising, but I don't like the tokenomics. And this is what I mentioned on my Twitter account and my Twitter profile, that we have this. I bought at 233, above a little bit, 234, and I had this great run. I expected the price to come to $8-9 at least, but it kind of did here on the chart. But this is the CoinX. In reality, it only reached 750 here on other exchanges, and of course I didn't take profit. I missed this one, but definitely it came for the retest in this zone. This is a clear buying zone here, and I'm still holding my TON. And TON, I am not excited about this asset. This was price wise mainly. I am excited about it as technology and something like that, but from the tokenomics point of view, not much for me here. And I bought it on time before the hype, and this is the speculation asset for me. So that is why after this pump we can see that we are going to flip Kijun soon, and we will meet probably this 50 moving average here line. Basically, if we do something like this, close right now under it, and we go for the retest of the 50 moving average, and if we hold it, do not go lower, then definitely we will reverse and go back into Kijun resistance in the coming days. Yeah, and we will retest this 640, 650, 630, and this is where I'm going to sell it, and we'll wait for it to drop back to $4 or $4 plus $5 or $4 here. and maybe after that or something like that, and maybe after that I will rebuy it for speculation for purposes also, but definitely I'm going to sell above $6 this asset. It will be enough for me, enough profits, but I don't want to hold this heavy tokenomics asset in my portfolio, even though the fundamentals are great for it right now. Okay, let's take a look at the I don't know, RDNT. I was buying this one, and during the, let's take a look at the another chart. I guess this one is clearer here with zones. And yes, I was buying it at 1880, and I mentioned it in my previous videos and tweets, but as soon as the price went back down here, it triggered my stop loss at entry and I lost it, and I didn't rebuy it here around 17 cents because at that time I thought maybe it is going to go lower a little bit, and who knows what is going to happen next, because the monthly was extremely bearish here. And of course we could have expected a bounce here, of course, but I needed to be very careful with this one. And right now it recovered kind of nicely, and seemed to me that maybe I lost this position, but right now, as we are speaking right now, it kind of reclaimed my price that where I bought it, and I can actually rebuy it here, but because it retests right now, it retests the 50 moving average and Kijun support, and technically it is a good buy zone here around 1888 and 19 cents, because we can see a bounce. But actually I'm having second doubts to rebuy this one. I don't know why, because on a lower time frames it looks like a good idea, and maybe I will. Maybe if I see good support here in this zone tomorrow, maybe I will rebuy it and we'll see what is going to happen next. It maybe even go right there and sell it here and go lower. But for now, the way the daily closes, it still can be a good one. But the weekly, let's look at the weekly. We left this red wick, a big red wick. Damn, I don't like this one. We need to cover at least half of it up to 70, 60, 70, 70. I don't know, something like that. Doesn't look very convincing to me. With that kind of week, we could go something to 14, 15 cents. So definitely this one is very uncertain and risky for me on a bigger time frame, on a higher time frame. But on the 4-hour time frame, it may be worth taking a shot here around 1880 and 19 cents. If it loses the 1888, then definitely it is drop it and rebuy around 70, 16, 15 cents, maybe out there, somewhere out there. So be very careful with this one at this moment, in my opinion. Next, somebody was asking me to take a look at the ALTLAYER and what are my thoughts regarding it. ALTLAYER, I have good feeling about this asset and the company and the product that they have, their mission. I think it is a good multi-chain asset that is going to be part of this industry and is going to provide great roll-up services. Basically, these roll-ups are the new app chains for those who want to build their app chain regardless of the blockchain. They can wrap it all up and manage their businesses, create their own networks, interwoven into other networks that ALTLAYER is working with, like Celestia, like I don't know, Optimism, and other Eigenlayer and others. So basically, a lot of benefits of using ALTLAYER. So definitely, it is going to rise in my opinion. But let's take a look at tokenomics. Yeah. Okay. Start with the investors and funds, VCs behind it. Basically, Binance Labs, Jump Crypto, Polychain Capital. This asset is not going to be left behind and or forgotten. So basically, it is a good investment in my opinion. For whoever asks me, should be good with it. But let's take a look at the 10 billion at its tokenomics and max supply, total supply 10 billion. It is too much. When a lot of businesses this cycle started to take this type of tokenomics of 10 billion total supply. During the previous cycle, blockchains and networks and huge projects, they were taking the 1 billion total supply tokenomics, yeah, limit. And some people do not take that into account, but this is the question of scarcity. When we talk about Bitcoin, everybody is bullish about it because it is limited, and with 21 million and even less already in circulation and in total supply of Bitcoins, 21 million. But when you have 1 billion, it was good in the previous cycle, and 1 billion and each tokenomics, it provides you with the limit of price. For example, why XRP is not $3 anymore and is not going to $6, $9, $10 like everybody predicted? Because the total supply of XRP, I don't know, probably more than 50 billion. No scarcity at all, and it is like trash. This asset is too much coins of that asset, and for it to reach $9 or $10, millions, hundreds of millions of people need to use it daily, and they do not, and it is not that popular even at this time. So basically, that is why during the first cycle of that, during that hype, they pumped the price of XRP above $3, and after that, it is just chopping around within that range, even with the top of $2, and each cycle, it renews its it marks the lower low on a higher time frame. The same is going to happen with these assets with 10 billion total supply. Of course, right now we have in circulation only 1.1 billion alt tokens, yeah, and the same situation is with Arbitrum and others. They are going to pump this cycle as high as they can. Maybe not this year, maybe the next one in 2025. And if you want to buy it and squeeze some profits out of it, you need to buy at the best possible area to secure 5x or 10x. Do not expect more from it. And that cycle is going to be the top, and the next cycles will be marking only the lower low, like with the XRP here, yeah, with XRP. After it hit the above $3, the hype is gone, then bottom, lower high, and right now when we finally break this, what is happening? Only when we finally break I don't know why it is not moving. Okay, only when we break this global trend line, we can start moving and reaching something like this, maybe something like that. Maybe if it doesn't die, they will start burning their token supply or something like that, or whatever. Definitely then only after that we will have some kind of price exploration. The same price action is going to be expected on all of these assets with 10 billion total supply, so be prepared for it. And if you are looking at ALTLAYER, you need a good buying area. And for now, what do we have here? We have some, from the launch, we have some empty space here, and that possesses the risk in my opinion. And for now, the area for buys is clear to me. This one, 30 cents is a buy. Above, a little bit above it, we can even draw some range here. Something like that. This is a buy zone for ALTLAYER, and each time we touch it is a buy in my opinion. Right now, if we retest it, we can go higher, but how long it is going to last, in my opinion, that is the question right now. And the first resistance is going to be at this yellow zone and somewhere there, and we have this Kijun and 50 moving average resistance out there too. What is next? Let's take a look at the weekly. Yes, we have this not covered week that is going to be covered. It is going to be covered right either now and we go higher, or if we go higher right now, then we will be back for it. We do not leave this kind of weeks, and it is a big one. And the second reason for not trusting ALTLAYER at this moment, okay, you can buy for speculation and for the bounces, but in my opinion, it is not going higher without making the new low. Maybe I'm wrong right now, but it is not very aggressive, but it is actually a very big monthly reversal candle. So basically, I don't think it is going to go from here straight to the new highs. If it doesn't squeeze back down into the 20 cent zone, in my opinion, 18 cent zone this month, like we discussed the previous assets, if it holds, it is going to reach this month. The limit is around 45 cents. Then it rolls back down, starts the new month, June, retest, and we go maybe only after that if we close above it this month. If we close above 30 cents, then definitely we will go higher next month, but the limit out there is going to be 55, 58. This is going to be the limit, and after that we continue going back, so look at it, we either do something like this, but unlikely in my opinion. I think after, if we leave this candle unplayed, then we will be back to 30 cents, and maybe after that we start running back. But still, as long as we have this heavy candle, I think 20 cents, 18 cents is a possibility, still possibility, and out there I would definitely buy it, because this asset with the current supply, circulating supply, will be a good purchase, and it can reach its top, in my opinion, is $2.5. So you need to have a good entry to squeeze some profits and access here. And okay, let's also let's take a look at the unlock schedule. And as you can see right now, it says that we have 1 billion, but actually we have more than 1 billion. Token unlock says it's currently 1.4 billion tokens in supply, and we have a big unlock. And at the end of the June 25th, we have an unlock, and we will have more than 2 billion tokens out there. So I think by the end of the June, we will close somewhere in June, we start recovering, and in expectation of this unlock. So basically, we need to wait in May, in my opinion, and wait for the end of May or the beginning of June to buy ALTLAYER. And as you can see, as we already said, that we either buy at 30 cents or 30 cents or not even 20 cents. Okay, I'd say do not expect 15 cents, but either buy here and wait for the bounce. If we lose it, then definitely we go for 20. I would not expect 15 cents, although it is very tempting and logically if we lose it, but I would start buying around 17, 20 cents somewhere here. And definitely that would be a good buy in the long term, and wait for $2 and you're good, and take profit there around $1.80, $2. But so, and depends on your strategy and how much you want to make out of it. You can start buying here, you can start buying here. These are my zones, and I think in May you need to wait for it. We still can go lower. Regarding TIA Celestia, it goes like I expected, and still the numbers are the same for me. Let's take a look. Yes, we have this Kijun and 50 moving average resistance here, and as you can see, what we can expect here, retest here, and maybe even recovery. And after that, we meet this resistance, yeah. And if we reclaim this Kijun support, then definitely it runs higher, and we wait for a break, something like this, and go higher. But I think we can actually, depends on the market and Bitcoin of course, but we can even go lower to $758 zone. Let's get back, let's take a look at the ATR, what we have there. And yes, ATR is around 740, 734, 750. This is where you need to buy actually, because we have this week and it will be covered sooner or later. We just do not know when. I think the lower prices for TIA are possible, very possible. And as you can see, technically we can do what we can do this week. Retest it. We have this bearish candle here, but we stopped it from falling, and this pin bar we had last week, we can retest this week around 950, 960 and recover, get back to 11s and get some kind of denial here and start chopping back down. This is what would make sense to me, meeting this global counter trend line, and this is where you buy and you go, you're good to go, in my opinion. This is what I wanted to say about Celestia, but this is a promising project, and the whole ecosystem Celestia has is a good one. I guess it is all for today. Thank you for your attention. Bye.